Scott Shawl is one of the founding members of the Huntin' Beast. He goes way back to when we used to be blood brothers. And he's one of the few that stuck around all these years and has worked with us. You don't see a lot from Scott because Scott's true passion is saving lives. You see, he's a first responder and a damn good one. I've always looked up to Scott. But Scott has a passion for hunting, and Scott does quite well in Michigan's North Woods. I'd like to share a video of Scott talking about hunting bogs.
Alright, so I'm out here in the bog, and I've got a white pine right here. Not a huge white pine, but we've got some tine scratchings on the tree. Looks like he rubbed on it a little bit here. And there's a branch that's been broken off and lying down at the bottom of it. And this tree's actually got a browse line, you know, from deer head height on down. They've knocked all the branches off, and they eat white pine. It's a class 2 white-tailed browse. They do get some nutrition from it. They eat the buds. They eat the tips of the branches. And they'll actually knock the branches down with their hooves if they can to eat it. So what I'm seeing is the white pines in this area of the bog. You can see there's a couple small white pines over there that we're going to go take a look at. They've got a white-tailed browse line on them. You know, if you plant a white pine at your home, you're going to have branches almost all the way down touching the ground. None of these white pines do because the deer are eating them. Let's go take a look at those other white pines. Last time I was here a few years ago, there was a big rub on one of them. And sometimes I'll find some bedding right under that too. And you see those trees aren't huge, but you got to go take a look. Let's go see. Right behind that white pine there, boy, there's some water in the bog. Boy, that'd be tough to get through there. We're following this deer run. And there's a bunch of water right behind that white pine. You might have to put waders on to get out there. Most areas of the bog you can get through without too much trouble. This ice is holding me up. So far so good anyway. Break through every once in a while. There's no bed here, but it looks like he might have bashed this, a buck might have bashed this tree up a little bit. Gotta put the work in. Let's go check out those other trees. Now, you don't want to just go look for islands and points and nothing else. Remember, the big bucks like to be out here in the bog so they can protect themselves better. They will be on those islands and on those points, but you can't stop there. Alright, so we're coming up. You can see the bog. Just how wet it is out there. Ooh. And looks like there may have been an old bed here. Not really seeing anything on the tree. Some droppings right here though. We may have a deer that lays down here. Let's go look at the next one. Look at the browse line on that white pine. Holy cow. That's to the top of my head. The deer have knocked just about everything off of it and eaten it. But again, we got to put in the work. What the heck is that? Is that a rack sticking up out of the bog? if you can see it right up there. It looks like, can't tell. Let's go take a look. It is a rack. I'll be. Here's the approach. Look at all the deer hair in that bed. Looks like he died there. Try not to fall down on this ice here. Wow, look at all the deer hair right here. The ice is holding. That's a bed right there. And it's full of deer hair. And there's a dead buck with his rack sticking up right there. Probably the coyotes pulled him over there. This is that tree that was rubbed last time I was here 3 or 4 years ago. You can see that big old rub on this tree. But he was actually bedding here, and he laid down here and died. I mean, who knows? I don't know if he was gut shot, made it all the way out here, bedded down, and eventually died, or what the circumstances were. Here's what's left of him in his rack. Looks like about a 3-year-old for this area. That's too bad. He'd have been a really nice buck this next fall. There's a jawbone laying there. So yeah, you know, we're out here in the bog. We've got a lone little white pine. He was bedding right underneath it. That's why you got to put in the work and come out and look. And there he is. Here in Michigan, you can't just take a full rack. You can take a shed, but you can't take a whole rack. To get a rack like this, you have to get a salvage permit from a conservation officer. So I'm just going to leave this guy lay. I don't want to draw any more attention to my hunting spot here than I have to. It's best if just no one knows except you and me, right? That's too bad. He's a decent buck. This is public land.